Welcome to episode 5 of the Stay Lifted Gauntlet interview show. Today we have Devious, a local rapper and artist from Toronto, Ontario. He's going to join us and smoke some weed. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. I'm aka Mickey Bluntz, so this is where I need to be.
Well, we didn't have blunts for today, but we got a lot of joints going around.
Let's do it.
Alright, so we're going to jump right in as we normally do. Big shout out to Liquid Chrome for the gear, their new clipper lighters, trays, and even the raws that we use to roll any of the stuff that we're given in bud. And we're going to jump into our first cannabis today is from Skeleton Crew, and this is their cake. So you got a lighter on, we need to give you a lighter there, yep. Your tray is your ashtray, and go ahead. So the last guest that we did joints with pointed out that we seem to go indica heavy, and yes, we are here to get high. So that's what we're here for. What do you think of the first joint?
It's good. So far, nice taste. The aroma's nice.
Perfect. Well, speaking of cannabis, now we'll get it out of the way. You and I have known each other for a few years. We go a little back. I remember you rapping some lines of Collingwood. And it was your voice, obviously. It's how raspy it is. So, how much does the weed play into your process in writing? And is the weed the reason for the voice?
We'll start with the voice. I would say like in high school with like a combination of like, peaking with puberty, smoking bongs, cigarettes. My voice was cracking in and out all the time, and people thought I was like pretending, and then now it's permanent, so they can't really say that anymore. But definitely makes it stand out. And like I used to like get kicked out of my friend's house for talking too loud, and I was like whispering. So it's definitely has its pros and cons. People do remember me. But parents hated me. I think parents still hate me. But weed is definitely something that I do for my writing process. I don't think it's like something I always need for a writing process. There's sometimes where I don't need to be high for writing, but I think it does help with creativity. I get super focused when I'm high. So when I'm high, I'm more conscious about what I'm writing. But yeah.
All right. So definitely it plays a part right across the board in how you write and what you end up writing and whether or not you use it in your writing.
100%.
All right. So our next comes from, it's CC Gelato.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, Kitty Corner. So this comes from Chronic Connection, one of their newer batches. They hook us up a lot around here. They're really nice people. I think you know some of the people over at Chronic Connection.
Like instantly.
Yeah, very, very sweet. Tastes good. All right, so thank you, Chronic Connection. Now,
I don't want to smoke this whole thing. Like, I don't want to put anything out anymore.
We can send you home with some goodies.
All right. I like goodie bags.
Now going back to those days, you spitting rhymes on front porches and stuff. Did you remember the first usable patterns you were putting together? Your first usable rhyme, and could you spit it today?
No, because when I was younger, I was more keen on my DJing and learning all of that. The rhyming back then was more just for fun. Everybody wanted to come over to my house because I had the 2 turntables with all the instrumentals. So it was really just for fun. And like I grew up on like LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane. So when I was rapping back then, I was just talking about my dick all the time because those are the type of rappers that I was listening to, like the Playboy rappers, right? And it wasn't until I really developed myself as an artist to know that's not what I want to be rapping about. So now today, I take it a lot more serious, want to do it more conscious, more political, and just shed light on things. Like, of course, I have songs where I just have fun, but it's super important to have a message in your music, shed light on things, help educate people, and just pass the word around, and music is a great way to do that.
All right, so now we're going to smoke our third joint, which is Skeleton Crew Predator Pink. They just dropped this. It drops today, but we got it 2 days ago to do this with.
And this is what I'll promise you: if I can quit smoking, give me a year after being clean from smoking, and I will come back and I will fucking run the bong gauntlet.
It's really funny. That's how this started. Was I would take 3 or 4 days off and just do 10 bongs and 2 dabs.
Right.
And I'm like, you should totally just stoned afterwards. I'm like, this would really work as hot ones. And everyone's like, yeah,
do it.
Perfect, let's do it. Now you're not just a solo artist, you're also in a crew. Prospect Avenue.
Was it a crew? Like my homies are still around, but we did one mixtape together, and they all got lives too, right? So one's a chef, got kids. Other one's got a construction company. I've always continued to do my thing and just kept Prospect Ave as the branding. We called ourselves Prospect Ave, the one mixtape, and they've always like sprinkled in their little features on my solo albums after that. And yeah, it's definitely something that I will never forget, because it's where I started with actual writing music and coming up with conceptual songs and conceptual albums and stuff like that. So everything has a beginning, and so yeah, it started with that, and then Devious One just remained making music, and they just come around and make music when they want, and it's always good to just have that chemistry, because on that mixtape there was just that raw chemistry of 5 friends getting together and making music for fun, nothing clouding that, you know what I mean? And so it was beautiful. But yeah, man, Prospect Ave's tatted on our backs, and yeah, we love that shit, man. So
from like Baby Blue to the Lunchroom Poets, we had Stitch in here a couple weeks ago. Slaughterhouse, all these groups. Do you see yourself ever joining in another super group again and collaborating for a full project?
Yeah, I'm always down to collaborate. I definitely collaborated recently with Ryan McIntyre, as you're familiar with. The great artist that he was here performing the actual song that we done together. And so that was like my first time crossing over and doing something not hip hop. Like it was different, it was fast paced, it was hard hitting, and it was a serious subject. So it was great. He's super talented. He did all that shit, drums, guitar, and he just laid it down fucking beautiful. So when he presented it to me, wrote my verse, went out to Villa Sounds, laid that down with Adam Fair, and like it was just a blessing, dude. So like branching out, collabing, other artists, other genres, always down.
So this one's a little different. This one comes pre-rolled from a great little company called Moonrock Canada. This is their Stardust Blueberry Crumble. Are you familiar with what Moonrocks are?
Yes, very familiar. I've smoked it before.
Okay, so Stardust is just their step up with everything, and it's a little higher end apparently. So this is our final joint. It again comes from Chronic Connection, good friends over there, so we appreciate them for that. And now on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a daily smoker, as we've talked about. So where are we sitting right now in your, and how high you feel?
I'm pretty high, actually. I'm probably about an 8. The dab's probably going to be what puts the nail in the coffin.
Fantastic.
Might need the bed and breakfast.
Not a problem. There's a lot of good takeout around here too. We're full service, don't worry. So we've kind of touched on it with some of the questions, but you have new stuff coming. You're working on some stuff. You want to, without giving out too much, you want to tell us about what's coming and what to expect?
Yeah, so I have a follow-up EP to World Demise called Survival. It's just going to be direct, no songs that sound the same like the first album. We're shooting a video tomorrow. It's going to be incredible. Pretty stoned right now, so it's hard to really plug the album when you're fucked up.
The vaporizer. Can start pulling on that now.
Do I gotta lift the thing?
Nope, it just goes for you. Just pull. Like the world's easiest bong. And right now we are hitting high voltage. Live rosin. How do you like the flavor on that?
I might be too high to tell.
That is okay. That is high voltage live rosin. So, you recently got a new toy.
Yes.
What's it like to jump back into producing from going from record to record back in the day, you know, biting beats but laying down fresh lines to laying your own new beats from scratch?
It's always been interesting in my path, going from, now I can taste it, whoa. There we go. Yeah, it's actually really nice. That's a nice aftertaste. Okay, so, yeah, the music. Going from, you know, just being an audio engineer and a songwriter to now being a songwriter and backing off the audio engineering part and trying my hand at production. It's really interesting because there's a lot to learn. The toy is literally limitless. The sounds is just everything about it is limitless. So it's kind of overwhelming to learn at first, but I'm taking it step by step. Always been a fan of chopping samples and looping them, sending them to producers already, and like kind of like co-producing tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go and they do their damn thing. They lay the drums, and all the power to them because they're amazing at it. And I need a lot to get to where they're at. So it's just a learning process for me right now. But I've had it for about a month now, and it's super fun to take old music and just kind of manipulate it to be new, modern, and raw. You know what I mean? So just fucking with eerie samples right now, and like I want to get to like fucking with some like shit from the 50s, some doo-wop shit. Nice. I want to start sampling just all kinds of random shit. So like it's definitely wicked. I'm even gonna try to get some drum lessons in and just really take it real serious and just take it to another level.
So third album could be all you.
Possibly. We'll get there. One day at a time, man. You can't rush into anything. I've never really been one to like rush learning a craft. It's always like taking the time to understand it, knowing the roots of it, and just going and just respecting it. And then you don't learn anything overnight. You know what I mean? There's that saying that you have to practice something for like, 10,000 hours before you can call yourself a master. Yeah. I think that's one of the things they say. So it's crazy to think that like I'll have a dope beat tomorrow. I don't know. Like I just taking it one day at a time, but it's super fun and it's super cool.
I do look forward to something that is from start to finish entirely from that very, very twisted and humbling mind of yours.
It's coming.
So thanks for joining us on our gauntlet this week. I had a lot of fun talking to you. I hope everyone out there learned a little bit about you. We will have some links below for where you can at Devious1, aka Micky Bluntz. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.